Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this thing and these things over one of the sides. I'm not doing that again. No, but welcome. Today I'm going to be going on Ask Reddit, seeing what people are asking Reddit and seeing what answers Reddit is giving, and also seeing what answers I can add to the equation. So let's get into it right now. Right now. Would you pay $5,000 to be extremely attractive? Why or why not? Before we go to Reddit, I definitely would pay $5,000. That seems like a really, really low price to pay. Like, especially if you're talented already, or if you have anything about your personality that's interesting, or if you're funny or anything, but you're not extremely physically attractive. If you just add that to your repertoire, you'll make it for sure. People like attractive people. People are in general nicer to attractive people. People would rather look at attractive people. So that's a good deal. $5,000. I don't know how you could spend 5,000. Like, has he even thought about this price? Like, getting your teeth fixed can cost that much. Getting a nose job can cost that much. So you're telling me I can pay $5,000 and just be extremely physically attractive across the board? Bargain. Let's see what Reddit says. First comment, that sounds like a bargain. I know, just getting your teeth done can set you back 10k plus. I didn't know it was that much, but that's the point. What's the fine print? Because if it only lasts 2 months, heck no, but for a lifetime, that would be a steal. Yeah, I bet a lot of people would still pay the 5k for 2 months and knowing what being attractive feels like. Or you know what chicks are like? Chicks will go out and get their nails done right every week. Or some men, I don't want to be sexist here. Some men obviously go and get their nails done. Some men get their eyebrows done. So if you could pay money to just be attractive across the board every 2 months, and I still think people would do it. Exactly my thought. I need at least $5,000 more in dental work, and also probably twice as much for surgery just to look normalish again. 5k to fix everything would be magnificent. Yeah, this what I mean. This person didn't think it's question through. Literally everyone is just 5k. I know. How old is OP? You should be charging like 100k at least for that. It's ridiculous. What is the first thing you're gonna do when COVID is all over? This is just gonna be full with, I'm gonna go and get wasted. I'm gonna go clubbing. I'm gonna go on holiday. I'm gonna go and chuck down dicks until I need a stomach pump. But I mean, humor me. I'll open it up just to see who's actually been funny and creative with their answer. I've been trapped in this house with people, so I'm gonna spend some time alone. Never thought I'd miss dumping a box of movie theater candy into a bucket of popcorn as much as I have. What? You put the candy in the popcorn? I don't think that's very good for you at all. Concerts, then international travel. Yeah. Probably the last thing that comes back. You're literally in England. How long is it gonna be, do you reckon? Comment down below and tell me how long you think until we can go to a football match again, or we can go to a concert again at Glastonbury or something. What month? Do you think it's going to be this year? Do you think we're going to be in lockdown until next year? Because I don't know at this point. But yeah, all these comments are just cliche shit, trust me. It's just, oh, I'm going to go to a bar, I'm going to go to a buffet, I'm going to go on a pub crawl, I'm going to go and see my friends. Like, serious Redditors who believe they have thrown their lives away. Where did it all go wrong for you? Wow, this is a deep question. I'm liking this Reddit so far. But I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame if you're one of these people that do think that you've thrown your life away, because I think it's a shame to feel like there's nothing you can do anymore, or it's too late for you. See, I don't really believe that. I'll keep going until I make it or I drop, right? I'm nearly 30. I still dress how I want. I still listen to the music I want. I still act like I want. So I believe that I can still achieve. And I believe that if you're the same age as me or even older than me, I still believe that you can achieve if you just work hard. So don't think like that. Don't think that you've thrown your life away. Don't give up. Don't give up. How did your high school crush turn out as an adult? My high school crush, she's still quite pretty actually. I have her on Facebook. I'm not going to name and shame you. Don't worry. I think you probably know who you are, seeing as I was literally in love with you for about 4 years. But yeah, I was sad. Leave me alone. But yeah, she's still quite pretty. She's got a kid. She seems to have a nice life and that. So well done. If you do watch this video, then hi. Began acting. It's weird. Every so often I'll see a commercial or something and be like, oh, hey, I know them. If it was one of them constipation commercials, that'd be funny. Every time you switch on the TV at night, you just see a woman running out of a house and then quickly running back in a house and then walk out of a house rubbing her belly with a smile on her face. Oh yeah, that was my crush in high school. Mine was my best friend. She turned out to be a pedophile. What? What? She always liked younger guys. Like when she was 17, she had a 13-year-old boyfriend, which was weird. But we were kids and I didn't think about it much. Turns out she continued to like younger teens as she grew into her 20s and 30s. This is interesting. You don't hear of it much, do you? You don't hear of the feminine pedophile much, but here we go. There are 3 women here on my street. They're my neighbors. They don't live on the street. That are old. There are 3 women here on my street. They're my neighbors. They don't live on the street. What? How does it? What the hell? I can't even make sense of that sentence. That's what I hope really happens. I hope really we die and then just come back again. You know what I mean? You can try again, game over, try again. But then to get philosophical right now, I used to be scared of dying, right? It used to terrify me. I used to lie there at night when I was a little kid and just worry about it. And I even used to get up in the middle of the night and speak to my parents about dying, right? I thought dying was just a horrific concept to me, that I'm just going to die and I'm never going to see anything again forever, for infinity. You can't really conceive that as a child, you know what I mean? Infinity, forever, and nothing doesn't really make sense. So yeah, it used to scare me a lot. But then now I've got older, I sort of think about it the opposite way and I think, what would it be like if you lived forever? Isn't that a scary concept? What do you do? What if you want it to end? What if you get bored? What's the point in being here forever? What's it leading up to? And if it does lead up to something, then does it matter how good the event it's leading up to is if we're just going to exist for longer after it? Like, what is the point in anything at that point? So I think that being dead forever is probably less scary than being alive forever. And that's how I made peace with death. I'm still scared of how I die, but not the actual concept of dying. What's the creepiest thing you've ever heard a child say? Lol, a couple of hours ago, my 3-year-old very casually was like, I'm going to be sad when his home catches fire. My neighbor's 4-year-old daughter once said to me, you're pretty, too bad they're coming for you soon. Needless to say, I was terrified for a few days. Over a year later, nothing has happened to me. Suck it, Jennifer. I was tucking in my 2-year-old. He said, goodbye, Dad. I said, no, we say goodnight. He said, I know, but this time it's goodbye. Kid at a pet store. We need to get a dog that can eat a lot so when you die, they can eat your body. Then it'll be like you're still with me. I was 17, but I died, and now I have to start over again. This is why I believe in reincarnation. Well, because one random 7-year-old, because one random kid said it. The best minds in the world come up with things like the simulation theory, which is a really interesting concept, and who knows, it could be true. This is the thing, none of us are clever enough to know. So you can't sit there and be like, well, I know what happens, this happens, I know for sure this happens, I know that we just die and rot in the ground and nothing else happens. You don't know that. You don't know what consciousness is. You don't know where it goes, if it dies. What is it? What is our soul? You can't find it, right? You can find our brain, but our brains are not, our thoughts are not us. Psychologists will tell you that, right? Psychologists will tell you that you are not your thoughts, but your thoughts are in your brain. So what are you? You are something else. You are a consciousness, but we can't find the consciousness, right? We can't scan your body and be like, oh, there it is. Look, there's your consciousness. No. So what is it and what happens to it? We don't know. So don't pretend to know. People who had a friend who isn't your friend now. What happened? Personally, I've had loads of friends that ain't my friend anymore, and that's just pretty much the way that they treated me as a friend wasn't deserving of my friendship. That's it, I think. Some people just don't deserve your friendship. Some people just don't put anything in towards it. They just take, and then when you need people to help you, then no one's there, innit? Or they don't accept you for who you are, or they try and change you, or they expect things from you because you're their friend. They think that you should give them stuff or do stuff for them. And I think that a lot of people just have a really juvenile way of looking at friendship. That's from my personal experience anyway. Let's see what Reddit said though. I was toxic towards them, realized it and cut off contact. Now I've sorted my shit and I'm more than eager to explain myself and apologize to them, but who knows if I'll even be welcome. Guess it's up to fate for us to meet again. At least you did the right thing though. Too many toxic people out there know they're toxic and then still try and take advantage of people. So at least you stepped away. Made plans to go and see a movie with my friends for my 16th birthday and planned it weeks in advance. Everybody bailed the day before, but I decided to go and still see the movie. Ran into my whole group of friends leaving the movie theater while buying popcorn. Ouch. They're not your friends, bro. They were never your friends, bro. That's it. Go and get real friends. A relative died and they told me to be sad somewhere else as long as I didn't have to see it. They said this a day after my relative died. Yeah, this is what I mean. Most people don't deserve your friendship. Most friends are temporary. I moved a lot. Parting ways was part of life. Yeah, that's another thing that I can relate to as well. Being born in Nottingham and then living 10 years there and 10 years in Birmingham and then 10 years down south. Yeah, I totally can relate to that. We were out of town shopping and he stuck his head out of my car and shouted to some 15-year-old, "Show me your titties." And I knew instantly I couldn't take it anymore. All he ever joked or talked about was sex and porn, and that sent me over. My entire friend group and I stopped talking to him for a year after that until recently when he got hired on where we work. He seems to have calmed down on that end and doesn't do that anymore, but I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, some dudes are just ridiculous. Some dudes are so thirsty, bro. Like, and the way they act about it is like, this is why you're thirsty. This is why you'll never get women. I never get women because I don't know why. But it's not because I'm running around trying to grab everyone's pussy or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not rude or vulgar to women. Maybe it's because I look like this. Like, I'm gay. He's a Mormon. He stopped talking to me once I told him. Best friend all through high school and most of my 20s. He couldn't stop just sitting around smoking pot and watching anime. Then he hit his late 20s and started dating a 13-year-old. I noped out that second. What the fuck did you report him? At that time, it was not illegal. It was way before Megan's Law. But it's always been, isn't it always been illegal? Like, as isn't there always been an age of consent? Well, in like, not like always. I know that like in ancient times, there obviously wasn't the laws out there, but yeah, it was still illegal. It doesn't matter if this is stupid. He's like, at the time, it was not illegal. It was before Megan's Law. But the only thing Megan's Law states is that a sex offender's information has to be known, right? Or you have to, the neighborhood has to be informed that this person is a sex offender and is living there, right? That's what Megan's Law states. It's a freedom of information thing, right? It's not. That's not the age of consent. The age of consent's been around for way longer than that, dude. So I don't know what this guy is on about with like, oh, it wasn't illegal back then because Megan's Law hasn't introduced. As Megan's Law's got nothing to do with the age of consent. Megan's Law just states that if there's a pedophile living in the neighborhood, then the neighborhood needs to know that there's a pedophile living in the neighborhood. That's pretty much it. There's a lot more to it than that, but you now have the superpower to look at any stranger and instantly know if they'd have sex with you. What public area would you test this superpower at? I just had a really bad joke instantly come to my head there, but I'm not gonna use it. Head down to local uni, check out all the chicks that are in their 20s. That's where you go. Straight down to uni. Well, you wouldn't be going anywhere right now, would you? Coronavirus. Where with coronavirus, where would I be able to test that superpower? In the supermarket, because it's the only in place that's open. So I'm gonna have to go around a supermarket and see how many like OAPs would bang me. Oh, Doris with the 7 cucumbers in a trolley. That's a ding ding on top of her head, you know what I mean? Like, when did you realize that adulthood wasn't as cool as you thought? Probably before I was an adult, actually, seeing as I was living like an adult before I was an adult, because my mum left. So I realized that adulthood wasn't as cool as I thought it was before I was an adult, which sucks. And it's only in the last few years that I've actually been in a position where I can actually do something with my life, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Let's go. When I realized that all of the things I've been waiting to do cost money, yeah. Literally, I think that's a big thing for a lot of kids. They don't get it, right? They don't know what money is. My daughter's just, oh, get this, buy this, buy this. You got lots of money. And I'm like, I don't have lots of money. You know what I mean? I just, you don't understand what money is. You think that there's like an infinite supply of it, that it just must appear in your pocket. Yeah, I think kids have a really warped sense of money. When I was a kid, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to leave school and get my own place and have a car. And it's like, I still don't drive. When I realized that adults are often rewarded for things that got you in trouble when you're a child, lying, cheating, manipulating, being dishonest, more show off than substance. And when I realized there's absolutely nothing humanity can do about it. Yeah, but then you're looking at that's a really warped perspective, right? Because then you could say that people are also punished for lying, cheating, manipulating, and being dishonest. So yeah, there is people out there who profit from it, and there's people out there who get punished for it. That's just the way it is. I think it's the same as a kid, though, right? I mean, loads of kids go around school lying about, oh, my dad does this, and at home I've got this, and then they get popular because of all the
crap that they keep talking that's not true, right? So in that sense, that kid has been rewarded for lying, right? So I don't know. I don't think that that's just for adults. Like if you forge a note and take it into school and get the day off school and no one finds out, then you've just been rewarded, right, for lying, and you're a kid. So yeah, I don't agree with that. Adulthood is awesome. You get more responsibility but more control over your life. I feel freest when everyone leaves me the fuck alone unless I want to engage or build relationships. Living with family is the opposite of that. I don't think that you've grown up properly yet. I think you've been an adult for about a year. I'm 18 and can't drink, smoke, or rent a car. First comment. But you can star in a gangbang porno and die for your country. Glad there's consistency with these law things. That's so true, though, right? Some of the rules we put in place, that the government puts in place, are so contradictory and ridiculous. And there is like no balance when you get like someone on weed charges who goes to jail for 6 years, and then someone who's like sexually assaulted a minor is going to jail for like 2 years, and you're like, how does this make any sense? It doesn't, but we just carry on. What is the age number that you consider someone to be old? I'm 30 this year. What would I consider to be old? Probably older than if you would have asked me 10 years ago. What do I consider to be old? Do I consider my mom to be old? That's probably a good place to start in it. I don't know. She's getting there. She's getting too old. So yeah, I'd say about 60. Yeah, 60 is what I class as old. Let's see what people say on Reddit. Well, the older I'm getting, the higher age my idea of old becomes. Yeah, that's what I just said. Like when I was a teenager, I thought being 40 was ancient. Well, now I've just turned 40, and when I hear of someone dying at 72, I'm like, oh my gosh, they were very young. Well, 72 is very young. I don't know. When I hear of someone dying at 72, I probably think that's about right for like the generation of people that are 72 now. I'm not sure what our generation, because there's a lot of health nuts, right? There's a lot of advancements in health all the time. A lot of people are eating better, and there's a lot more people in my generation, I think, that are really health conscious. I think that our generation might outlive my granddad's generation, because I guess my granddad's in his 70s, right? Or he's nearly 80. I don't know. I don't speak to him anymore. But that generation, I think 70 to 90 is about right. I think that's about where most people would die, right? But our generation, I think we can outdo them. I think we can live to 100, you know? Maybe even longer. Maybe we'll live just to be implanted into robots, and I can just be a robot forever. And then what happens then? What happens if reincarnation really does exist? Or what happens if Christianity is true, right? And then no one dies anymore, and then God's just up there like, what the hell, man? Like, what is going on? No one's dying anymore. Like, we got all these beds in heaven and no one's filling them. All these families up there waiting for their for their grandkid. I thought she'd have died by now. Why hasn't Susan died yet? Why hasn't she come up to heaven yet? I hope she ain't gone to hell. Nah, she's just down on Earth in a robot. Not so much as a number, but an attitude. I know 70-plus-year-olds who like seeing the latest movies, playing board games, acting and going on adventures like ghost tours to harmlessly prank people. And I know people in their 20s who think that's weird and immature and prefer to sit and watch the news at home. It's like that cliche, growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. I agree with this statement. Absolutely 100%. 100%. I do not feel nearly 30. I feel nearly 20, if anything. So, yeah, I'm never going to grow up. I'll grow old, but I won't grow up. Around 20 years older than me. When I was 18, 38 was kind of old. I'm 28 now, and I feel people pushing 50 is getting old. I guess it changes. And in 10 years, I'll feel people pushing 60 is getting old. I imagine when you're 100 years old, you'll be yelling at those 80-year-olds to get off your lawn. These fucking darn 80-year-olds on my lawn. These damn OAPs fucking up my daisies. I'm 18, so 25 plus is just really old for me. Grow up. I mean, I met some pretty cool 60-year-olds who have more active lifestyle than friends I had in my 20s. Age is just a state of mind. Age is just a state of mind. However old you are, whatever you want to do, just do it. Do it. Don't let people tell you what to do. Don't be scared to express yourself. And if people put you down, just do that. And then move on with your life. Because you don't need other people to like it for you to do it. You don't need other people to think something is the right way to go for it to be the right way to go. You don't need someone to believe that you're going to succeed for you to succeed. Remember that. Let's laugh. What is your favorite joke? My life. A guy is standing in the express lane at the grocery store behind a woman. She puts down a head of lettuce, a package of chicken, and a few cans of vegetables. The guy behind her looks at the items and then to her and says, "You must be single." The woman looking at the items can't imagine what gave it away. "Why, yeah, how did you know?" "Because you're ugly." Jesus walks into a hotel, puts 3 nails on the counter and asks, "Can you put me up for the night?" 2 muffins are in the oven that's slowly getting hotter and hotter. One muffin starts screaming bloody murder. "Oh my god, it's so hot in here, we're gonna die." And the other muffin turns and looks and says, "Hey," a talking muffin. What? That's not funny. Your mum is so fat, she couldn't fit in a single comment. How do you know when your vegetables have finished cooking? The wheelchair rises to the top. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wheel myself out of here for the day. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you made it to the end, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking this video and commenting down below. Check out all the links in the description. I'll be back on Monday most probably, since I'll be making videos with my daughter all weekend. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend.